Michael, have you ever seen scenes like this before?
No, I have not seen scenes like this before. This is the darkest day in modern history for American democracy. It also diminishes America's power and standing across the world. The pictures speak for themselves, and this will be the signature note of the Trump administration. There is no question. This was an insurrection. Even on conservative networks, they're calling this treason. Why? Because they physically invaded the chambers of Congress where the Constitution was actually unfolding. The Constitution says specifically that today is the day that you certify the results of the Electoral College. And these rioters, these insurrectionists, these seditionists actually interrupted that. And I think it is a symbol of the true strength of American democracy that these congressmen and women are looking to continue those hearings tonight amongst the debris and what will have to be within a heavily barricaded Capitol. This is beyond description. As one Republican congressman said, these are like pictures from an East European dictatorship, and yet it's happening in Washington, D.C. The beacon, the light on the hill, the most gleaming democracy on the planet, and it's been diminished.
You raise an interesting point there. It brings the end of, and casts a dark shadow, as you said, over the end of Donald Trump's presidency. We saw about an hour ago he released that pre-recorded Twitter video urging those people to go home. He said, I know you're in pain, but it's time to go home. But at the same time, Michael, he once again reiterated that he believes that there has been voter fraud.
Look, unfortunately, this is a president who has yet psychologically come to terms with the fact that he is the very thing he despises most, a loser. Not just a loser on a national stage, but now a loser on an international stage. You know, from what I'm hearing from my sources, it's just not sinking in. He can't psychologically process this. And this is potentially going to rip the Republican Party apart, because the Republican Party has felt itself held hostage by President Trump's popular base. Felt itself held hostage. Because what we've also learned today is that President Trump has overseen a Republican Party that didn't just lose one Senate runoff in Georgia, but we just learned it lost a second runoff Senate election in Georgia. This is the first time there's been a Democratic senator from Georgia since 2000. And everyone within the GOP, the Republican Party and beyond, knows who to blame. It's President Trump. So what we now know is that President Trump's base doesn't have the power that many feared it did, because to win an election in this country, as a Republican, you may need the Trump base, but you need the base plus. And there's just enough Americans left, just enough conservatives left to stand up and say no to that kind of a Trumpian party.
Wow, what an extraordinary couple of hours. Michael Ware, I appreciate your time.